Self-pity. I want a few words here on self-pity, because when we've been hit by when we've been broadsided and we have been flattened by circumstances, or we've made mistakes, or we've been inept, or whatever, we're all in some cases it may not be the first time it's happened to you, and it might come, this might be this position of being down and out where you are at the moment, or being defeated, might be one of a series of defeats and setbacks that you've suffered, one after the other. And if that's the case, without extensive support, or not even extensive support, but without some modicum of support, you can get into this depressed state of mind, where you feel that it's just defeat coming at you one after the other, and you can get into a frame of mind where any hope for the future can be drowned out by the defeats that you are encountering at the moment. And you can get into a mindset of pitying yourself and just poor me, and you can have pity parties and so forth. And I found myself, to be honest, getting into this mode of self-pity and feeling down in the dumps and feeling that I have no hope and so forth. And it is very I'm fortunate that I caught myself in this downward cycle and that I've been able to arrest myself. One of the consequences of this attitude of self-pity was I've gotten off track in my video schedule, and this is an endeavor to get back on it. Well, this is getting back on it. I am back on it now. So, but I'd like to just bring to your awareness the idea of self-pity. And I'd like to, maybe you should ask yourself, have you fallen into that depressed state of self-pity? And if you have, and if this question that I've just asked you there now, have you fallen into self-pity? Ask yourself that question, and if that's the case, well, then let this be your prompt to get out of that self-pity mode. There's a few kind of practical ways to do about it. It shouldn't be just an intellectual thing, but there's a few practical things that you can do to get out of the self-pity mode, and I try to do these on a daily basis, but they're still, they're practical helps, but they're not bulletproof either. A thing I do is when I get up in the morning, I have a cold shower, and that just kicks me out of whatever mood or whatever down or negative state that I'm in, and it just gets my mind off it, having a cold shower. Now, to get warm after the cold shower, it's necessary to do a little bit of exercise, like squats or press-ups, so on and so forth, and that further gets your circulation, and it gives you a feeling of physical power, and it gets you out of that mental state. But you've got to ally your physical exercises and the cold shower. You've got to ally that with, you've got to take hold of your thoughts. You've got to take hold of your thoughts and convince yourself that you got to get out of this mental state of self-pity, of destructive, I can't, I'm not able. You've got to get out of that, and you've got to get into the frame of mind that yes, you can. Yes, you can do whatever it is. At the moment, what I'm doing to get out of it is I'm actually now, I'm retired. When I say I'm retired, I'm on the Social Security retirement pension. And I'm endeavouring to set up a painting business. And in order to do that, I need to be very positive. I need to have this attitude about myself that yes, I can. And I've got to get into my head the attitude of work, the attitude of graft, and the attitude of rolling up my sleeves and just getting down to it. We have to look forward. We have to have hope. We have to have a future. And so get out of the mindset of self-pity and write down a list of things that you want to do, and then just get about and set about some form of work to make things happen. So that's just me having a rant or whatever anyway, but thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.